Good morning, my friends. Fabulous morning this morning. Has anyone looked outside? I have. I never look outside in the mornings. Usually straight on here. But it's Brekky in the cave, myself, Cub Kovu, in the hot seats. What a show we've got on the way. I'm really excited for this one. You can probably tell by the funky shirt. We're live inside the building, kicking off with something fresh from MPH and Hamdi. This one's out on Friday. A little exclusive. Going to be running through all the guests that are coming up in just a second, so make sure you share the link. Keep locked in. It's going to be a wonderful wake up this morning. Don't go anywhere. It's Cubcam TV.
With them live.
Good morning out to all the early morning locked in crew. Right about now, we are live on Cubcam TV. Make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button as well. We want to be making sure the channel is growing as much as possible as we move forward. It's doing really well so far. Obviously, we started off lockdown on around 40 subscribers. We're now approaching 200 quite rapidly, and I want to make sure that rapid rise increases and we continue along this really cool path that we found ourselves upon. It's Cubcam TV. We're doing all sorts of stuff on the channel. We're looking at top 5 videos. We're looking at this show, of course. And we've got some wicked guests on the way who I'm going to talk about in just a second. There's also gaming videos going up. There's also new music floating around. So any support we can get on the channel will be huge. And it's kind of like our lockdown project. That's what we're doing with this channel. So out to everyone locked in this morning already. So today we've got an absolutely corking show on the way. It's got to be said. I normally run a show over on Trickstar Radio, which is obviously going to be running fine as soon as this lockdown situation is over. But for the time being, of course, I can't get in. So we are running a show from home, which is all good. And they're perfectly happy with that. It's good stuff. So we're going to be joined today by 3 very special guests. First of all, on the listing is Sabrina Gunston. Someone who has been joining me on the show since I started doing breakfast. I believe this will be her 3rd or 4th appearance. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But we're going to be talking through her brand new single, which does drop today. Going to be jumping on the line with her in about 10 minutes or so. Following that as well, at around 10:30, I'm going to be jumping on the line with D's Ends, one of the most prolific bloggers and kind of music journalists within UK Grime. I'm going to be looking at all the stuff he's been doing, the blog itself, how it came into being, and of course the opportunities that have come off the back of it. I love speaking to people who write about new music, man. It's you always find out like these really cool projects they're involved in behind the scenes, so I'm looking forward to getting a bit of information from him. As well as that, we're also going to be talking to Rame, one of the most prolific kind of all-arounders when it comes to music, when it comes to essentially rap music in the North and Grime as well. Someone who is putting on events. He's putting together Clash tournaments. He's also someone who is putting together chart-topping releases, which we're all going to be talking about. We're going to talk about all of that come 11 o'clock. So there we go. That's today's listing. We've also got bangers to play in between. We're going to jump into this one next. I'm feeling very summery and very UKG-ish this morning, despite the fact that I didn't get to sleep till about 4:30. I'm full of energy. I'm pumped. It's a lovely day outside, as you can see behind my veiled blue curtain, and we're going to keep those good sunshine flavours rolling. Getting into this one next from Smasher. We had him on the show yesterday, and I tell you what, I am obsessed with this tune. Goes by the name of Non-Stop Billing, and it is an absolute corker. So keep it locked, hit that subscribe button, share the link around, and don't go anywhere. It's Cubcam TV, Brekky In The Cave.
Non-stop billing, every day I go in. They asking what you been on, me, I'm just doing my thing. Cause it goes on and on, these vibes are strong, yeah. Non-stop billing, every day I go in. They asking what you been on, me, I'm just doing my thing. Cause it goes on and on, these vibes are strong, yeah. Releases planned out from now to September. On top records, that's my agenda. You know it's pure vibes when we enter. DJ spinning tunes, yes, my selector. Deal with the matter, I deal with the pressure. 12-inch vinyl, bass injector. This one here is the real neck stretcher. Got an old school vibe with a new school texture. Non-stop billing, every day I go in. They asking what you been on, me, I'm just doing my thing. Cause it goes on and on, these vibes are strong, yeah. Non-stop billing, every day I go in. They asking what you been on, me, I'm just doing my thing. Cause it goes on and on, these vibes are strong, yeah.
Loving this one from Smasher. It's out Friday.
Fire and flames, yeah, watch when I start it. Roll out the vibes like rolling a carpet. Planting the seeds, yeah, ready for the harvest. I'm a true creative, yeah, I'm a true artist. Ready for the takeoff, the flight's just departed. Gotta go all out, can't go half-hearted. Reach for the stars, gotta aim for the target. Tunes in the stash, start attacking the market. Non-stop billing, every day I go in. They asking what you been on, me, I'm just doing my thing. Cause it goes on and on, these vibes are strong, yeah. Non-stop billing, every day I go in. They asking what you been on, me, I'm just doing my thing. Cause it goes on and on, these vibes are strong, yeah.
Wicked flavours on this one coming from Smasher. You know what I might get? I'm feeling to get a green screen that goes behind me and just have like sunshine weather, like, I don't know, tropical beaches and stuff like that. Be quite fun to do, I reckon. I need to get hold of a green screen though, and then work out how to do green screening. We're learning loads of new things during this extended period of lockdown. How is everyone finding lockdown? If you are locked in, please do leave a little message in the live chat. We can have a bit of a conversation. The phrase for this show, of course, is we want to keep ourselves sociable during these extremely unsociable times. Out to everyone who is following the procedure, staying indoors and keeping themselves locked down. It's a sad time, it's an unusual time, but it's good to see, and I want to say thank you to everyone who is carrying on with that. To be honest with you, I'm going to the shop once a week. That's pretty much it for me, and we're going from there. Just getting used to it more than anything else. Something weird did happen though a couple of days ago. I was pretty much just minding my own business, completely forgetting that I'd ordered an ASOS shop before lockdown actually ensued. And it arrived 3 days ago, pretty like 8 weeks late, but I'm not mad at that at all. But yeah, this shirt came, and I'm really, really happy with it, because I wanted some new shirts. I wanted some funky stuff, so we can rep some colourful layouts whilst we're on the show, you know what I mean? So, in about 5 minutes, we're going to be jumping on the line with Sabrina Gunston. I'm going to be talking through her brand new single, which I am really, really excited to get into. It's a wicked tune. Something very different as well, something very unusual, something very kind of this I want to say experimental in the way it's been put together, and I love seeing that from singer-songwriters, people that aren't afraid to push the boat out, people who aren't afraid to try things that are different, a bit unusual, and especially along the sort of electronic side, there's always more things you can try, which is sick to see. So we're going to be jumping on the line with her in 5 minutes or so. As well as that, there's loads of stuff on the way, man. There's loads of stuff. We're going to be jumping into another video dropping on the channel a little bit later on. We're going to be looking at another Third Age video, out to everyone who's been following the series, and all the series is on the channel in general, you know, there's loads of stuff on the way. We're keeping the news moderately minimal today, because obviously we want to keep ourselves in contact with all the different people who are on the show. We want to focus entirely on the guests today. As you can see, we've got 3. First time we've had 3 on the show, so it should be really enjoyable indeed. So, let's jump into another banger next then, shall we? This next one, we're going to keep the UKG-ish flavours rolling. Brand new, this one from Soul Lecter. Absolutely love this bit. Something very different as well. This one's off his brand new EP, which does, I believe, drop I think it drops today, to be honest. No, it drops tomorrow, his brand new EP. And I can't remember where it drops, but it's a 5-tracker, really, really cool, futuristic UKG flavours. This one going by the name of Cubano. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you are following Cubcam TV for more updates, more shows, and more fun. live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave, and we are joined by our first guest of the day. Sabrina, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. I'm really looking forward to this. Obviously, the new single's out there from today. We're going to be talking about that. You're somewhat of a regular, I'd say, on the Breakfast Show at this point.
I know, I love it. I feel so honoured to be able to come on your show. Like, you always support me with my new single, so I really do appreciate it.
Anytime, man, anytime. You see, the thing is, when people are putting bangers out on a consistent basis, for me, I like to be able to keep on top of it. So it works both ways.
That's right.
That's what we
bangers
like to see.
And mash.
So, first of all, like, how are you finding this current lockdown situation? Obviously, you're posting a lot of videos up, I'm seeing, on the different socials. Like, how are you finding the overall scenario?
At the moment, not too bad, to be honest, but I'm lucky because I've got a garden and stuff, so I can go outside and, enjoy the weather whilst it's sunny. But I've been doing all right. I've been quite creative, to be honest. I've been writing a lot of songs and doing a lot of covers and trying to make it my own. And I've been doing all right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm quite motivated.
I think there's, I'm finding it actually quite common that people are almost like utilising this time as much as possible. I think especially if you are in a position as a singer-songwriter where you actually just have a lot of free time essentially at this point, and you have all the equipment there and you have everything you need to kind of start composing things. It's not actually that like unusual for you, I'd say, for you to actually find yourself in a position of motivation.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, you got to make it a positive situation. There's so much negativity going on right now, and they're always telling you the death tolls and this and that. And you know what? Just focus on something positive and just try and put your mind to it and just create something that or do something you haven't had time to do, or just make a positive situation out of a negative. Definitely,
and that's something I'm 100% back in, to be honest with you. So let's kind of move the situation forward then. Obviously, you had In regards to releases, you were last on the show. I think it was about 5-6 months ago. I think it was.
Yeah.
Was that the last thing you released?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, was it? Yeah, it was.
So how have you been? What have you been up to in the meantime? In between the two releases?
I've been writing a lot of material, a lot of new material. I've been working with Edward, who's my boyfriend, and he's also producing at the moment as well with me. And it's been really great because we're so close already. He already understands all my vibes and my ideas, and he understands how I want things to sound. So we've created 7 new tracks, and they are experimental and a little bit different, and I'm really excited about them, and I want to start releasing them as soon as possible, to be honest.
Good stuff. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the exciting thing about this, of course, is that you are now in a position where you can just crack on putting together as many new tunes as possible. This new single, obviously, it's what we're here to talk about today, and I'm right in thinking it 100% drops today. It's available in stores.
Yeah, it is.
Available in stores now. So that's it's kind of good that we've managed to time this in for this morning, then, isn't it?
I know. I'm lucky.
Fantastic stuff. We're going to get into the single in just a second because I want to run through it and run through everything about it and why it's actually one of my favourite things you have put together. How long has this one been in the works then? What's been the general layout with it?
You know what? I think I actually first recorded this song 2 years ago on Logic at home on the piano, and then I think I just left it for a bit, and then I took it to my producer Jomo, and maybe that was a year ago, I think, and then we kind of just started working on it, but then we kind of got a bit caught up in in our lives, and then we went back to it, and then we changed it, and now it's here. So it's been a bit of a journey, but it's been good.
So it's very very much kind of like a chop sort of in and out then. So more than anything, it must have loads of different time periods of influence kind of mixed into the bundle, different things you're feeling at different times.
Yeah, I think that's why I quite like it, because it's got quite a lot of live guitar in it, which I haven't really had much live instrumentation in it before, to be honest. Obviously the keyboard and synths and stuff is all live and put in, but in terms of guitar, that's all been put in. And I think it's just, I always create music that I'm inspired by listening to other artists, and that's always constantly changing. I don't just have one category or one genre that I love listening. I love so many. So I think over those 2 years of first recording at home on just piano, it was very ballady, and now it's a bit of a bop, have to say.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think there's elements. The thing is, I always say this whenever you bring something out, but I see it going more and more towards sort of weekendish sort of styles and stuff like that when I hear new ones from yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to go a bit more. I think I'm trying to do less pop and more electronic soul, experimental stuff, because I really enjoy that. I enjoy the feeling I get from it when I perform it, when I sing it.
I think as well. Having seen, I saw you perform. I think it was last year. I can't remember what show it was, but there was a show I came to see you at, and there was such there was such a almost like kind of there was like an uplifting edge to everything that really came from that sort of electronic sort of thing. There was almost like there was a real kind of rise and fall, real like crescendos with what you were doing, and it was kind of down to that electronic instrumentation and I'd say electronic influence. And I think this is actually one that I'd really like to see performed live.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to perform this live. I think that's right. I think I really do enjoy writing quite like powerful songs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I really want people to feel like they're empowered after they've left a gig. I want them to feel like they own themselves.
I mean that's a feeling I'd happily take away from any show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get into the brand new single now. Then this one is, I believe it's called "Losing Sleep."
Yeah, Losing Sleep.
That's good stuff. You know what? I got next to no sleep last night, so this is pretty much a perfect one for me this morning.
There we go then. There we go.
Right then, we are live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. Sabrina, what is your best social media tag before we get into the new single?
Introducing Sabrina G.
Good stuff. Don't go anywhere. It's Cubcam TV, Brekky In The Cave.
Have you got time for my love? 'Cause I got time for yours. Have you got time for my love? Have you got a place for my soul? 'Cause I got a place for yours. Have you got a place for my soul? I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. Have you got time to be mine? 'Cause I got time to be yours. Have you got time to be mine? Have you got space for my thoughts? 'Cause I got space for yours. Have you got space for my thoughts? I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. And I keep searching for something more. I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. Our eyes, they never meet. I say something you can't repeat. What happened to this love so sweet? I'm crying over my lost sleep. Oh, yes. I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch. And I keep searching for something more. I'm losing sleep over your love, over your touch.
Right then, guys, we are back on Cubcam TV. Sabrina, the new one is an absolute banger, going by the name of Losing Sleep. First of all, out to everyone in the chat right about now. Out to man like Yaron, out to Storm, out to man like Ed. How are you doing, sir? It's been a minute since I spoke to you. How are you doing, sir? Also, we're going to be talking about the tune. I mean, it's got so many different influences and so many different kind of inputs into it. Like, what would you say, if you were to kind of compare it to anyone else, like, what would it be?
Oh, no, don't say that.
It's a bit, I like asking this question, man. I like asking this question.
Oh my God, Jay. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of James Blake. Like, I'm obsessed with James Blake. I've been pretty obsessed with the Billie Eilish hype. And so probably those two together, and then a bit of like Neo.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh my god, Jay, that's such a hard question because I listen to so much, like, and it's all such a variety of music. Like, it's not all just one genre. That's a hard question.
It's a good one though, because it means you kind of get a lot more kind of tapping into the influences, if you know what I mean. That's what I like to find out. I like to find out who people are influenced by, because it means we can kind of look down. We can kind of work out where people are going if you look at where you kind of come from, which is quite an old saying, but good. So what are you up to for the rest of the day then?
So the rest of the day I've been doing my little workouts in the garden, and now I'm going to be writing some more music. I've got a video as well for losing sleep, like a homemade video I've done. I'm debating whether or not to post it, to be honest with you.
When you say homemade video, what sort of thing are you talking about here?
Like the cringy thing you would imagine. So like my camera on self-timer, me doing a bit of singing, and then trying to put it together to make it a cool video, you know? That kind of thing. Should we describe it as TikTok-esque? Yeah. Oh my God. Are you on the TikTok hype? Because I am definitely not on that yet. Should I be on that? I don't know. Do
you know what I'm finding? I think more than anything else, it's not. I know I'm going to get absolutely crucified for people by saying this, but I think with TikTok, I think it's not necessarily a younger audience, but it's a much quicker audience, I'd say. Whereas the sort of stuff we do, obviously, here on Cubcam TV and with the radio sort of side of things, we're a lot more sort of long-haul content. We're a lot more about, like, extended conversations and stuff like that, rather than kind of, oh my God, thing, explosion, thing. It wasn't actually the thing. And that's what I find TikTok is. However, I know a lot of people who are sort of like making TikTok accounts and are getting quite good at it. So I think it depends on what sort of content you're looking for. And I think for what it is, it's great. And I think a lot of the content that is going up on there, it's making me laugh, and it's perfect for like Instagram stories and stuff like that. But overall, I think it's good for musicians to be on there. But I'd say for this kind of thing we do here, I wouldn't say it's the best platform. But I'd recommend yourself getting on there, definitely.
Yeah, maybe I should. I've got some time. I can do that.
There we go. Everyone get TikTok. That's what we're taking away from this interview. Sabrina, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you this morning. Best of luck with the single. I'm looking forward to seeing all the new music. As soon as new stuff comes out, please do send it my way. I'd love to hear it, and obviously play it on the show. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for always supporting, Jay.
No worries at all. We're going to get into this one next from Millions before we jump onto the phone with D's Ends. It's a busy show this morning. New subscribers, new listeners, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. Favourite the video, leave a little chat, leave a little message in the chat and stuff like that. Let's have a conversation this morning. It's Cubcam TV. Don't go anywhere.
Kate says she wants to straight drop back. If that's the case, it's no deals on the stone. Oh no, check operator service on my phone. That's all dodgy, for my dead, I don't wear no puppy. Man, rise up and go catch me out.
I just seen that whip circle twice. Is it them funny youths or CID? Why pre? Yeah, this your bean, I don't need ID. I had my top since Levi jeans. The man done got the deuce up in VIP. Why pre? You hopped off the porch in 219. I just seen that whip circle twice. Is it them funny youths or CID? Why pre? Yeah, this your bean, I don't need ID. I had my top since Levi jeans. The man done got the deuce up in VIP. Why pre? You hopped off the porch in 219. No, Wi-Fi in a Banzino. Gas that can check my snap when I reload. But it's mad calm, only logging into 30s, girl, I'm busy. Calm in a T-home. Straight. Started with an 8th of a Zeno. Piss when it weighed 3.3 on the skilos. Now, in my town, I'm a hero. Off for 8 months, I like, hey, where you been, bro? Let my worker scare in a vehicle, but sometimes Ben's like regular people. Asked me what I do, I said, nothing illegal. I'm legal. Man's done, burn up the M already, so on the sat nav to avoid motorways. Due to workers, facing got the ding focus on Toyota plates. Got Jan say 3 times in a hotline. Same name, 3 separate fiends. My killies ain't in for section 18, it's have county lines of schemes. Man should hit that spot. Bear man, the Scott bag was a big operation. Raven, gotta be the only one in the black population. And when man's in the station, answer my name to the sergeant. After that, there's no cooperation. Bordeaux Veeks ain't got double glazing. Best man, and you go round trouble making. In football training, line off all heap of cats complaining.
This one coming from Millions. This one is out now. I think there's a video out there as well.
Funny youths or see.
In just a second, we're going to be jumping on the line with D's Ends. Massive shouts out to Sabrina for jumping on the line nice and early. Make sure you go and grab the new single, Losing Sleep. It's out now.
It's an absolute banger. Circle twice, is it them funny youths or CID? Why pre? Yeah,
so is this one, you know. It's just good music here on Cubcam TV this morning. As I said, please do hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference.
She'll be Manchester man's braffing. This time I never put it on a train, I had it live or in the glove compartment. Machine in the vehicle, man, don't get cast it. Take time and the humps can't might just ras it. Local dance man's hashtag water. It's like 2 a.m. if there's nothing open, I'll be pissed if I gotta go slaughters. Jarring, I beg your pardon, my mob chew any and everyone's borders. OT chips, them man never forward. 015 Swindon in my Pradas. 2 brick phones on the table, 1 hotline and 1 for the soldiers. In JA it's at M16, in the UK Shuba. Yeah, got a call from my cat say he scored before, but it sounds all bogus. Asked some maintenance that said that they know him and he also that's just a bonus. Alright, and I can't lie, I was capping. If it's section 18, it's a chattings, them gal there wassing. Saying that millions, you, I can't stand him. Hey, girl, relax your mouth and stop blabbing. I was banged up, broski, got it cracking. Bow. And I still take my tree starter dream weekend. Run with boom and illegals. Real yardies mix the herbs with grabber. Taboo late night, sexy girl get. Hey, my girl, stand straight and don't stagger. I just seen that whip circle twice. Is it them funny youths or CID? Why pre? Yardie should be, I don't need ID. I had my top since Levi jeans. The man done got the deuce up in VIP. Why pre? You hopped off the porch in 219. I just seen that whip circle twice. Is it them funny youths or CID? Why pre? Yardie should be, I don't need ID. I had my top since Levi jeans. The man done got the deuce up in VIP. Why pre? You hopped off the porch and
Good morning, my friends. We're live on Cubcam TV. Moving into the second interview of the day. It's a very busy morning here, and it's been a very enjoyable show so far. So we're going to keep the good vibes rolling. Man like Adam from D's Ends is on the line. How are you doing this morning, sir? You all good?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm all good, sir. I'm all good. It's good to finally get you on the line. Obviously, we've been speaking via Twitter, essentially, for, I'd say, around 3 years now in total.
Yeah, something like that since the start of the website, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's been a wicked thing to kind of see grow into a very kind of valid platform within essentially a very crowded scene. I want to kind of go back to the beginning with yourself, and get a bit of background on yourself. In regards to D's Ends, what exactly is D's Ends? Obviously, we've got a very kind of mixed group of people in the chat this morning, so I want to kind of make sure everyone knows exactly what's going on. So on a basic level, what is D's Ends and what do you do?
Well, first and foremost, it's a growing website, if you don't know already. So we have the latest reviews, latest news, latest releases, and I just wanted to make a hub for the grime scene as it is now.
Okay, cool. So somewhere you can kind of like find all the information on the latest releases to an extent.
Yeah, I think at the moment there's not really a platform that's doing that consistently. I mean, you have 1 or 2, but it's not the latest releases. So I wanted to make a website so everyone can come and see like the latest work and that the artists are putting up.
Definitely, man. And I think at this point now, obviously you've been going for a fair few years. You've definitely established yourself within the scene, and I feel you've definitely kind of put yourself at the kind of top of that list when it comes to like places to look for new music. And whenever you see, well, this is definitely how I see it now. Whenever you see a D's Ends review on a tune, it tends to mean that like it's a certified grime banger.
Oh yeah, definitely. Big ups to my team. I mean, I couldn't have done this without them. Basically, I started off as just a personal blog, really. So I go to all these events and pick up new artists. I think we started when Radar Radio was on.
Okay.
So you're talking end of 2018, mid 2018?
Yeah.
So artists like SBK, Joe So Sick, Logan, I just really got into. I've always been a fan of grime, but these new generation artists, I don't know, they're just really like created a buzz for me.
I was going to say, yeah, would you say they were that this kind of new gen were the people that really kind of pushed you into wanting to do something creative alongside it?
Yeah, definitely. We had a category, a feature on the website. I say we again, it was just me. But it was called MC Month. So every month or bi-monthly, yeah, it was bi-monthly, I can't remember now, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a long time. But every 2 or 3 months, I would have a MC month. So say about 10 artists a month, and I'd write where they're from, their latest tunes, and what they're about. So that really took off, really.
So essentially kind of like profiling people in a more detailed way than you're going to be able to find anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you Google these artists that I was writing about, you can't really see much about them, like where they're from, like their latest work, like the whole profile of their latest work. Just stuff like that, really.
Yeah, I
wanted to make like an archive.
I was going to say, I think an archive is the best way to describe it. And then when you kind of go back and look over the page, there's obviously so much history involved there, because I've got to say, you guys are really, really on it when it comes to like finding the new releases and making sure stuff is covered that you guys believe to be in that sort of timeline, or sort of like almost like conveyor belt to an extent, of new music dropping from the sort of I want to say kind of classic grime scene here in the UK. Like, if you were to kind of like summarize your sort of who would be the person that you would say that really kind of got you interested in grime in the first place before you were writing, like way back to the start?
Whoa, you're talking 2007 maybe.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question actually. I'd say the first grime album I listened to was Wiley. Playtime Is Over.
Wow, that's an absolute madness. That's literally my favourite grime album. I think I've actually got it in this room somewhere. Without a doubt, my favourite grime album. And for me, that album does kind of personify what a grime album should be.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, I was quite late on grime, really. That's quite late for someone that's built a blog, really.
Yeah, I'd agree, but I think it kind of, it means to an extent as well, you're not necessarily kind of tied down by early nostalgia, if you know what I mean. I feel there's a lot of kind of earlier grime, which now a lot of people actually comment on this as well. I see it popping up a lot on my timeline about people who are like who want to move away from this almost like locked in nostalgic sound, which a lot of people are struggling to get away from. And I feel if you were perhaps of an earlier era, it might mean you were in a similar position where you wanted to hold on to that early nostalgic sound rather than letting the sound move forward.
Yeah, that's definitely a nail on the head there. I mean, I think grime's just stuck in the past at the minute. That's why it's not popping. Would you say grime's not popping? Well, it is. There's a lot going on, but people can't see it's popping. But when I say it's not popping, I mean to the wider audience. But people that know grime know it's popping. So.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, definitely. I'd say within grime, everyone knows what's up and everyone knows like how well people are doing. People are obviously establishing fan bases. People are doing things a bit more professionally as well. Like everything's up on streaming sites. Everything looks crisp and nice, and like the album projects overall, the sound actually has never sounded stronger. But I think it's more kind of expressing that to as you say, to a wider audience. We're going to jump into a tune to kind of kick us off here this morning. Obviously, you've sent me over some bangers to get into. We're going to get into one of these first. This one goes by the name of On Top. It's by JK. Talk me through this tune and why it's in your selections this morning.
Jeez, it started with the big one, okay. Well, basically, JK is probably one of my favourite MCs. I feel like he's been away from the game for a bit, from grime anyway. He's kind of went a bit mainstream, kind of, if you want to say. But now he's back on grime, and this one's just a banger, really.
I'd agree, man. This one is start to finish definitely a banger.
It's a short tune, but
we're going to get into this one. We're going to get into this one now. This one is JK with On Top. It's just gone 39 minutes past 10 here on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. What is the best social media tag to get these ends on? Just so people know from the off.
Well, you can search these ends everywhere. Instagram D's_ends. So that's DEEZ, and then ends with a Z. So yeah,
nice.
That's it, really.
Good stuff. Let's get into this one then. Don't go anywhere. It's Cubcam TV.
Being on B10, B24. Oh yeah. Yo, man, I get your rave locked off. Pull up in a grey drop top, J's on top. Back then I never had shit, but now I'm getting paid non-stop. Man, make what? Still out here on the block, I still send your boyfriend shop. I can still roll around these ends on my ones. I'm blessed when I ain't got up, so don't give two fucks. But man, I get your rave locked off. Pull up in a grey drop top, J's on top. Back then I never had shit, but now I'm getting paid non-stop. Man, make what? Still out here on the block, I still send your boyfriend shop. I can still roll around these ends on my ones. I'm blessed when I ain't got up, so don't give two fucks. No, I don't need a reason to. The shooter's there if I need him to. Minimum 5 like 3 + 2. I'll spin him alive when I'm breezing through. God bless you if I squeeze a chew. Don't know you when I speak of you. Better cover that face like peekaboo. That strike man down like Pika. I might put money on my own head.
Out there, man, out with no bread. Yeah, I sleep peaceful when I go bed. From a young boy to an old head. I'm a big man, but I got no dreads. Can't cause beef, them phone feds. Yeah, I can't stick around here too long, cause I gotta go brum like a moped. Yeah, man, I'll get your rave blocked off. Pull up in a grey drop top, J's on top. Back then I never had shit, but now I'm getting paid non-stop. Man, make what? Still out here on the block, I still send your boyfriend shot. I can still roll round these ends on my ones. I'm blessed when I ain't got up, so I give 2 fucks. Right, man, I'll get your rave blocked off. Pull up in a grey drop top, J's on top. Back then I never had shit, but now I'm getting paid non-stop. Man, make what? Still out here on the block, I still send your boyfriend shot. I can still roll round these ends on my ones. I'm blessed when I ain't got up, so don't give 2 fucks. What dirt you done, what risk you taught. Throw body shots that'll lift you up. Won't throw one back cause he's too short. Yeah, my aim's on point if I miss you, though. Pop champagne cause I've been through north. Said I pop champagne cause I've been through north. Come round here, I can show you tough. Said you weren't there, but I know you was. Now I ain't got a care in the world, my bad if I stare at your girl. I run 3 households, ain't sharing a cell, don't want.
Live inside the building right about now on the phone with man like DZens. This one coming from JK with On Top. We're going to be getting back into the conversation in just a second. New listeners, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. Drop a little comment in the chat. We'll get some questions rolling in just a second.
And when you handshake, I'm a big man, but I got mad cake in portrait and landscape. Yeah, I ran straight to the bank, mate. You look pissed off. Are you had me? Yo, man, I'll get you rave locked up. Pull up in a grey drop car, J's on top. Back then I never had shit, but now I'm getting paid non-stop. Man, make what? Still out here on the block, I still send your boyfriend shot. I can still roll round these ends on my ones. I'm blessed when I ain't got up, so don't give 2 fucks. Right, man, I'll get you rave locked off. Pull up in a grey drop top, J's on top. Back then I never had shit, but now I'm getting paid non-stop. Man, make what? Still out here on the block, I still send your boyfriend shot. I can still roll round these ends on my ones. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Right then, we are live on the line with man like DZens. We nearly ran over conversation there. We're having a nice little chat off there about loads of things that are popping. So obviously it's an exciting time, as we were saying, happening in grime right about now, especially during this lockdown period. We're seeing these kind of back and forth clashes going on. We're seeing a lot of live sets where we're seeing people doing sets over Instagram while people are in different rooms. Like, there's some absolute madness popping overall. What I want to kind of get into, obviously, for like as essentially a journalist for what's popping in grime and a correspondent for what's kind of going on overall across the UK music scene, I want to kind of ask, like, what were the kind of articles you found that really kind of solidified these ends within the UK?
Well, to be fair, obviously I said about MC Muck, so that really held us in good stead. I think we got about 700 followers from that.
Wow.
And obviously I thought it's getting a bit big for just a personal blog, so big ups to my team, like people that have had me throughout the journey.
How many people are involved in the team now at this point?
Say five or six.
Wow, so it's like a large. It's not just like 1 or 2 people writing. There is like a consistent basis of people like submitting articles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wicked, man. Like, I mean, when you're kind of like putting projects together, like, then would you say you kind of like basically say, here's a new project, who wants it, or do you kind of wait for people to submit material to yourself?
Well, it's kind of really laid back, so anyone can write what they want. But obviously we have to keep on top of all the latest. So we've got an in-depth writer called Dirty Cypher. She's been doing bits.
Yeah.
I should say, not he. But she's been with me since the start of it, really. So projects go to her normally, like the larger projects. She does in-depth reviews.
So I'm kind of looking through the website now. Obviously, it looks like there's been a bit of a makeover recently as well. Everything seems to be very bright, very kind of like colourful. Like, in regards to putting the website together, is it pretty much all just handled in house?
Yeah, pretty much. I started off on, I think it was Google Blogs or something like that. Obviously, as it grown, I needed a bigger look and a nicer look. So yeah, it's all in house. I designed it myself. It's all on a website builder called Squarespace. So yeah, they sort of lay it out for me. I just have to add all the all the content, really.
All the content.
So,
I mean, I'm looking through, man, and it's so busy. I mean, I'm looking through here in regards to like recent like posts. I'm looking through. There was 3 yesterday. There were on April the 20th. There were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10 posts on April the 20th, and it's not as if these were the build-up from like the whole week. There's literally the day before that there was another 5, I think 5, 6 I'm looking at here. So like you guys are keeping up to date with so much content. Like it's do you feel you are the grime blog to go to now?
Yeah, I would say so. It's crazy really to see how much content we're putting out. I mean, the response to the articles, it's not just like, even the bigger artists just recognise us, like Flirta D, Coco and all that, just show love, man. I mean, I would say, yeah, we are the hub of grime at the minute.
I mean, that's sick. That's sick to see, man. And more than anything else, kind of seeing it growing up from the project that it originally started as, which was, as you say, it was quite a personal blog. It was pretty much, as far as I remember speaking to you a few years ago, and it was very much a case of, oh yeah, I'll write this up for you. I'll do this right up here. I'll do this right up now. To see now you've got the team, you've got obviously this kind of position within grime where you are, I'd say definitely solidified within that extended sort of extended community. And then as well as that, we've seen the clothing line launch recently. I've got a D's Ends hat here somewhere. I wasn't able to find it before the show this morning. But like, talk to me about the clothing side of things as well, because I've seen that's something you've moved into and been kind of pushing quite heavily recently.
Yeah, I just wanted to. It's not about profit for me. It's just getting the word out, really. So we've got new hats, new t-shirts, new hoodies, the whole lot. I mean, it's not about money, as I say. I mean, I'll go to raves. I was even in Outlook Festival last year, and I had my D's Ends top on. I took about 5 with me, obviously. And I got recognised. Someone knew what the website was about, so it just means a lot. I mean,
it's sick though, man. I think as well with that, a lot of it is organic. You know what I mean? I don't think there's not really anything that's been. I think planted's the wrong word, but there hasn't been kind of like a viral kind of thing that's gone bang, and then everyone's kind of gone, oh, let's look at this. It's been a genuine, consistent build-up of following, of reputation gain, and just kind of a genuine notoriety rather than sort of riding off the back of anything. In regards to people kind of setting up, I mean, there's a lot of people who set up blogs, a lot of people who set up this sort of thing. What would your advice be to them?
Well, the main thing is to be consistent. If it's not popping at the beginning, that's expected. I mean, you can build a website for free easily with WordPress, I don't know, any really big platform. And you just constantly, if you're consistent enough and tag the MCs or producers or whoever you're writing about, then you're on a good path already. I mean, obviously it takes some time. So like, we've been going for 2 years, but anything's possible, really.
Definitely, man. I think as well, looking through this as well, it just the variation in like artists. It's not just about the huge producers. It's not just about like the low end producers. It's very much about literally everyone from across the entire grime spectrum. And I think to an extent that's why there is so much respect there. It's literally a case of if it's good, you'll write about it regardless of who puts it together. Yeah,
definitely. We don't just write about things. I mean, at the minute during this lockdown, we've had quite a lot of time to push content out on the website, but on our Instagram we've had an MC challenge.
Okay. So, yeah, talk to me about this, because I have seen this popping.
Yeah, I mean, Husky hit me up with a beat, and numerous beats, about 10 beats, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute, this could actually work. Like, I had an idea before. Obviously, there's loads of Instagram freestyles and challenges, but I wanted to, big up the up-and-coming producers as well as the MC. So I made this MC challenge called MC Sheller Challenge. You can find it on Instagram on the hashtag. But yeah, it's just they spit the coldest, 16 bars or throwaway bars over this beat. We have, I'm planning on doing, so it's bi-monthly, so I'm going to have a new beat every 2 months. So.
Wicked, man. I mean, everything. The thing that I'm loving about D's Ends is, as I've said before, everything's organic and everything is just constantly growing. There's no like funny business. There's no antics. There's no sort of commercialization of stuff. It's just good. It's just good, honest writing about music that you guys are passionate about, and that's what I love to see. And I think that's why people appreciate it so much. We're going to jump into another tune next. This next one comes from Mayday and Stretch DCM. Goes by the name of Melon Fanta, produced by Vagrant Real Estate. Talk to me about this tune.
Jeez, okay. Well, Mayday's my guy, he's from Birmingham. And he's linked up with Stretch. I think his boy Stretch. They've been to Japan and collaborated with the coldest MCs there and producers. They've got a project from Japan.
Sick.
But Melon Fanta really is their go-to song at the minute. It's the summer vibe. It's still grimy, but you can play it in the garden, you know, with a beer in the sun.
I mean, I feel that makes it a perfect tune for the time being then, because all I'm seeing on Instagram feeds right now is people sitting in the garden with alcohol. That's all I've seen for the last week.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right, then we're going to get into this one now then. Just gone 51 minutes past 10 here. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. As I've said before, new listeners, please do hit that subscribe button. We're going to be bringing you content like this every morning, Monday to Friday. Loads of other videos as well. So do check out the rest of the channel. Yes!
Beat get beat up like I'm a bully. Man spit quick like say I'm in a hurry. Bars go over your head like hoodie, but shots go straight through man like Curry. Man get spun around like McFlurry, then get twisted and spun same way. Man wanna be a top boy like Sully until you hold 21 shots like the Shane.
Shame, that's 21 to your frame like Duncan. I'm fuego flaming, Mayday Vulcan, moving reckless, I'm hawking. Big and brummy, I'm just like the bull ring.
Might see man overseas exploring. Your flow better, don't beg it, that's boring. Shine too bright, nobody can dim it. Your flow plain like Molly made
Pop in
chicken.
the car stretch, fill it. Put petty in first, then he bill it. Drink open, don't spill it. Aircon on, just chill it. Pass me the orc, yeah, give it. Old school grime, say spin it. Fly down the M-way, zip it. Still run time, we did it.
It's the year of more, let's get it. Link Mayday and West Brom getting. Build 2 suits and we're jetting. What's the address, we'll be heading. M59 man's revving. Petrol's high dry till it's deaded. Radio, them man, shell it. Your flow better, don't beg it.
Stretch up next from murking sets and cashing checks and taking heads. I don't want to hear no chat about packs. So bars you ain't said, nah. Lane, I don't smoke, so fling me the pen. And if you smile loud, then you know we've Stretch. And right now we're both not in the end.
I'm like Ang with the M16 in hand. When it goes bang, that's best shouts the avatar. Man, the next caliber, Mayday, come like new gen manager. What's that mean? Bare dates on Canada. What's them man, I just moving amateur. Them shots miss me. I tell the MC go suck yourself off quickly. Then delete my browsing history.
International, doing up map
Crash. Bandicoot, Herman, spin tracks.
Collect and get more passport stamps.
I'm gone again, I'll ring man when I'm back.
It's tracksuit cartel all in black.
Your mixtape gets stumped and dash.
Long jump, then Jun Vincent, tell boss man get 2 Fantas from the back.
Right then, we are live on Cubcam TV. For some reason, my camera's decided to go a little bit off the radar, so we're going to get it back up on screen now, as it is. I don't know why it's done that. No reason to do that. There we go. We're back online. Quick fixes always saving the day there. It literally turned off with about 30 seconds of the tune to go, and I was like, no. But we're gonna crack on and bring you some more good content. There we go. So we're live on the line with DZens this morning. I want to kind of look to the future and look through what's going on along the line. How would you see kind of grime progressing over the course of this lockdown and obviously into what will be the end of summer?
Well, obviously there's no raves going on at the minute, so everyone's pushing out their content. I mean, literally, it's non-stop. I can't see like it dying down really.
I think this is actually going to be seen in the long run, I'd say, actually as a period of time in which people actually got a lot of the content out, which is going to be put together, which is going to essentially fuel them for the rest of the year. I think there's going to be so many projects built in this time. I think so many people now do have home setups, and so many people like kind of stem their vocals over to producers and engineers and stuff. I think that's what we're going to start seeing. We're going to see a massive influx of releases over the next sort of 3 to 4 months. I think realistically it's taken a while for people to get used to the scenario, but I'm starting to see it now. My inbox is flooded every morning. I'm looking through, there's just new music all the way through. Like in regards to like upcoming releases, what are you looking forward to?
Well, one that's on the top of my head now is Mark, of course, his new project Backroads Baby. That's been in the works for a year, probably a year now.
Okay.
He's been away, I don't know if it's personal or no. But when that drops, it's going to be good. Yeah, there's a lot of artists doing their thing at the minute. I mean, we've even got a mix series on our website as well. So people are making most of the time of the lockdown. They've got the home setups. So that's DJs, got decks at home, submitting mixes every day. We put them on every day on the Mixcloud. So
I mean, again, just looking through everything that you guys are doing, there is so much going on. It is genuinely quite difficult to keep up with everything that is going on, but it's definitely it's really applaudable, and I think as well the fact you're making the most of the fact that you guys have got a bit more time on your hands. You're staying literally up to date. As I said, to have 6, 7, 8 articles drop in a day for any online blog or website or news outlet or anything, it's a lot. Like, you don't see that from the papers. You don't see that from like a mix mag or a DJ mag. So to see it hit that heavily, it's awesome. So I've got to say, hats off to everyone involved, and hats off to you and your team.
Cheers, man. That means a lot.
It's sick to see. So we've got a few minutes left, and obviously we've got a very busy show this morning. So I'm trying to squeeze as much content into the show as possible before we run out of time. So I want to hear, like, what's the future looking like for DZens? What's on the way?
Wow, I'm going to drop it exclusive right now.
Bang, that's what I'm talking about.
We've got a mixtape coming.
Oh, wow.
Probably end of the year. So all the artists we've been featuring on the site, well, not all of them, but the ones that we feel deserve the limelight. So yeah, we've got a mixtape coming. Going to link up with the producers, MCs. Gonna have some sick artwork. Yeah, it's gonna be good,
man. That's amazing to hear. Thank you for giving me the exclusive on that. That's a huge one to hear. There's gonna be so obviously as you've worked with so many different artists and producers over the years, like, it's gonna be. I'm really excited to see the track listing.
Oh yeah, I think I've got about five or six MCs ready to do it. But obviously you gotta get the rest of them. So
awesome.
Yeah, man. Stay tuned, man.
Wicked, man. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And again, thank you for jumping on the line this morning. We're going to finish up with one more track that you sent over. This one coming from XP, featuring I think it's Kaim, or is it K-I-M-E?
Yeah, Kaim. Yeah.
Kaim and P1 Caps. This one going by the what's this one called? I'm just trying to get it to load up here. This one going by the name of. What is it? What's low? What is it? Is it?
No, like that, yeah.
No, like that. That's the one. Sorry. You know what it is? When I load music into my system on here, for some reason it takes about a minute to kind of give me the name, and I'm just sat here waiting. Like, come on, I need to introduce this tune. But anyway, we're going to jump into this one now, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure. One more time, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
Cheers, thanks for having me on, man.
Good stuff. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's just gone 58 minutes past 10 here. We are live on Cubcam TV. Out to everyone locked in this morning. It's been a really good combination of listeners. In a minute, we're going to be jumping on the phone with man like Rame, so don't go anywhere. It's Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave.
No, like that. Shut that show like that. It's enough, no, like that. Gully side, my vado like that. It's sometimes it go like that. Burst. You know, like that. You know, like that. Burst. Yeah, you know, like that. Shut down show like that. Why you talking roll like that? Yeah, it's enough, no, like that. Gully side, my vado like that. Yeah, sometimes it go like that. What? You know, like that. You know, like that. Yeah. Mazza, shout MT, can't big in other manner. I used to wear shocks, bump Jules Santana. Now I'm a lord of my ass jammer. Big in long side, big in fella. Might throw up the M like Mo Farah. When I come through, MCs get para. Don't like XP, suck your nana. I got bills to pay like glamour. You can't take big mic man for a spanner. I span, don't say a word to a gabber. Treat me like old school like Shambhala. Fam, I got moves like Jagger. Sniff like Tony, I drink like Gaza. And none of them man want pass up. Man make noise like Asher. I ain't NSG, but I'm OT bopping. Whole team mobbing, OZ chopping. Drink from France, man, Calipat English, and all my hoes speak foreign. Como estas? Fling on the mask like Cass. Can't take man for a fast, must be frass. Back at the CS gas. Rude boy jam, your sass. Blazing limb, I don't really care about them. XP top of the prem, come get leng. See me, I don't beg friend. So what you been to the pen? Bro, you're gem. I ain't no new gen. Best try now, this gang from way back when. Come get head top queng. What we like, come again. You know like that? Yeah, you know like that. Shut down show like that. Fam, why you talking roll like that? You ain't seen off and know like that. Gully side, my vado like that. Yeah, sometimes it go like that. It go like that. Kid, you know like that. Yeah, you know like that.
You know like that. You know like this. This is how something gets cut real quick. I don't need to say names. You know who it is. Hailing straight from the 016. From the estate, Mr. M16. I'm still about to find me in a bit. Still the realest, ain't calling it quit. So if you try this, might end up a miss. Wait one sec. Think you're the best, but your name ain't Pete and your name ain't X and your name ain't Keen. So there's no contest. Before you speak, you better hold your breath. Talking the talk ain't running from your threats. Pay the respect, man's coming to collect. Type of guy that I hype with your friends and be talking arms and be giving it legs. Dead. Now,
massive shouts to DZens who's been joining us for the last half an hour or so. Remember, you can check these shows back via Spotify, Apple Music and SoundCloud. Just search Breakfast with KXVU, the interview. interviews, and the poll project will pop up there. Over 125 interviews for you to get into. If you're looking for some content to chow down on, you're going on a run maybe, you're making some food, you just want to listen to something. There's loads of stuff in there, so head over there after the show. But for the time being, we're going to jump on the phone with Rame in just a second, so don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. Cupcam TV.
Yeah, it's enough,